CBS sends their own Jane Goodell, their National Geographic correspondent, into the wild. And she finds the 4 women that she thought was going to at least be split or divided, all for Trump. And then she reports back to her colleagues in New York, far away from the jungles of Washoe County, far away from the needs and concerns of the body politic, back to the ivory tower. She says the following. Listen carefully. Play cut 59.
We had so much fun. But what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant. And we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person.
We approached every single person. You have to wonder, how long did she spend on this? I mean, you have to imagine her editors were not going to be thrilled with an on-the-ground report in Washoe County that shows just one supporter for Kamala Harris. You have to wonder, did she spend 6, 7, 8 hours on the ground trying to find a single voter of Kamala Harris? Now, I'm not trying to get you to believe that this is going to be a landslide. I'm not trying to get you to believe that this is going to be, and we don't use those words at all. But it's so fascinating, isn't it? Because this is far more trustworthy, because CBS News has no reason whatsoever to report on this. None. Except for the fact that they dispatched her. She saw this. The editor shrugged his shoulders and said, we paid for you to go all the way out there. I suppose we're going to run this story. And it's very hard for them to understand why they are supporting President Trump. Because President Trump to them is indecent. President Trump to them is not cultured. You see, but President Trump is running on a campaign of justice, which, interestingly, justice is usually a left-wing cause. In every human heart, there is a yearning for justice. When a 4-year-old has a toy taken away and given to his friend, he'll say that's not fair. When a 6-year-old is waiting in line for ice cream and someone cuts in line, he'll say that's not fair. You see, children understand, at least at some foundational level, fairness and justice. Donald Trump's secret weapon in the 2024 election is not his rallies, which are remarkable. It's not his base, which is historic. It is the question of justice. And it is a classical question that goes all the way back to Plato and Aristotle. What is just? And Donald Trump, in his own way, makes the argument that you, the citizen, should not have a lower standard of life at your expense so a foreigner can get freebies. And the same way you have a 6-year-old waiting in line for ice cream saying, that's not fair, they just cut in line. You have millions of people that are not necessarily huge fans of Donald Trump. And they are willing to tune all of that out because they say, well, at least the loud man is going to fix this injustice. And Democrats for a long time have been the party saying that they want social justice, that they say they're justice Democrats. In the book of Leviticus, right before the most famous verse in Leviticus, which is to love your neighbor as yourself, with Christ our Lord quoted, is a verse saying that in the administration of the law, you shall not favor the rich or favor the poor. You must have blind justice. And most critically, in the American Western tradition, you own the country. They work for you. You're in charge. At least at some level, they're supposed to pretend that's the case. They no longer even pretend that you own the country. They no longer even go through the motions. Now, mind you, there was one Kamala Harris supporter that I'll show you. But to put a summary on that, allegedly, when the people want something, people get it. That's the deal. That's the promise. And people do not want to work very hard to see their own livelihood decrease and diminish. so someone who cuts in line and gets a bunch of freebies can see their life get better. Now, here is the one Kamala Harris supporter they found. It's a white dude for Harris. What a sad human being. Play cut 64.
I took my brisket and mac and cheese with me to catch Ken Lasker with a to-go order. How closely are you watching this election?
Oh, very closely.
He was the only Harris supporter we met at lunch, even though Washoe County has historically been pretty politically split.
I'll allow you to come to your own conclusions there.